Hey guys, I have another knife review for you, or knife overview. Not gonna call it a review. Um, Today we're gonna be looking at the Zero Tolerance 0560. That's right, the second Hinderer Zero Tolerance collaboration. Um, this is a really popular knife right now, for very good reasons. It's a Hinderer design, which is always gonna draw some attention. The Hinderer design right there. A couple of things about this knife that make it really awesome. Hinderer design, built by Zero Tolerance, so you've got a good manufacturer, a good designer. It's got the flipper on the back, which everyone loves a flipper. And I guess I'll just get right into the details. So you've got a fairly large knife here. It fits really well in the it sits really well in the pocket though, because it's got this low ride pocket clip, and it butts right up against the side of your pants. So you've got it in your pocket in this round smooth area right here. Doesn't really get in your way, and the flipper doesn't really bother you either. So it sits really well in the pocket. It's got the flipper on the back that once you pass the detent will throw this guy way out. It's got the 3D machined contoured G10 handle scale. You can see that's kind of it's kind of radiused across the top. It's also got this nice texture. The texture is grippy in this direction, and kind of smooth in this direction. So it's pretty nice. And on this side, you actually have the same pattern sculpted into the titanium, which is really cool. I mean, it makes this thing really thin for how big it is. It's much thinner than the Zero Tolerance 0550. I plan on doing a comparison of those two, but I'm waiting on my tripod mount. So once I get that, I'll do a comparison. So you've got an extra large lanyard loop back here. I don't think there's a single lanyard that's not going to fit through there. You probably put a piece of rope through there. Very big, goes through both scales. So tie it off on one or both, or however you feel. Now, for being such a big knife, this is actually extremely light. It's actually the same weight as the 0550, even though having almost a half-inch longer blade, I think. So it's got a half-inch longer blade and handle, pretty much, but it's the same weight. How they do that is they machined out the inside of these scales. They machined out, if you can see. So if you see the scale there, the liner on that side is extremely machined. You've got milling on every little bit of it that you can. You still got the skeletal structure, so you still have strength, but you shave a lot of weight off that, and it's extremely thin. And then even a bonus, they even machine out the titanium side. Look at that. So you end up with a very light knife. Even down there near the butt, they've got it, machined out. So it's extremely light. Like I said, it's the same weight as the 550, but in a bigger, package. The other great thing about this knife is the bearing system. It uses KVT, which is Kershaw Velocity technology. I'm fairly new to KVT, but I can tell you it frickin' rocks. In my video about the 0550, I talk about how smooth it is. Well, this is much smoother. Now, it's not, frictionless, but it's as close to frictionless as I can think. Instead of being hydraulic in motion like a lot of, fancier knives, it's so effortless and smooth. It doesn't even... There's no effort involved in the blade opening or closing. It just follows wherever gravity is. I can hold it here, and it just closes. It's awesome. And what that lets you do is it lets you really fly this thing open. You can use the flipper, or you can use the thumb studs. I've seen a lot of videos talk about how the thumb studs are hard to use, or I'm going to address a couple of those. First one is the jimping on the back. I've heard a couple people complain that the jimping on the back is really rough, and it is. And if you push down towards the handle and your finger digs into that, it can kind of dig into you. You can kind of see right there what it's doing to my finger. But that being said, if you push down and if you kind of do an arcing motion, like you're petting it really hard, then you can open it without even, and you notice where my finger ended up, back here. You can open it without even touching the scale, and that's typically what I'll do. And if you practice enough, you can get that down to the point where you can do it every time. So, so I think if you just stick to that, I think just with a little practice, you can get it open. And you can avoid that sharp jimping, because really, I mean, it's good to be nice and sharp because it digs into your thumb when you're holding on to it. It's a really good feel. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So I want that jimping to be nice and sharp. The only thing that sucks is that flipper. So if you do it like that, then you can avoid that. Second thing is the thumb stud. I've heard a ton of people say that this thing is impossible to use your thumb studs with. Now, I've only gotten this one, so I don't have others to compare it to, but I can tell you I can flick it out no problem with the thumb stud. Yeah, the detent is strong, and if I just sit here and just go slow and try and push, I can almost not get it, and there I just got it. But because I'm pushing so hard, I'm squeezing my hand to put extra pressure on. If you just grab the knife, push it out, no problem. Make sure you keep your hand off this lock bar. I mean, you can see I've got my hand pretty much on the lock bar, but I'm not exerting pressure. Most of my pressure is actually down here with my pinky, just to keep it in place against my palm. I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on the knife. I'm just grabbing it and flicking it open. If you do it just like that, it does. I mean, it is a little rough on the thumb, but I mean, for God's sakes, just get a tougher thumb. There, it's easy. Just flies right open. And I'm not really pushing all that hard. I'm just flicking, and I'm not pushing straight up. I'm kind of giving an arc to it, so it's kind of a down and out real quick, just boom. And again, with enough practice, you can do it too. So now that it's open, we'll take a look at the knife. The handle is extremely ergonomic. Talked about this in my 550 overview. But this is even better because the 550 is a little shorter and it's a little thicker. This is much thinner and longer, and what that lets you do is get a really good purchase. The choil is really good, and the flipper really, I mean, it sits really well in your hand. Really, really ergonomic. I really like this handle design. I think that this is probably one of my favorite designs for a handle. This single choil, 3-finger back, and nice and skinny in this area right here. So I think it's nice. Balance is really, really balanced. Balance is right on my tip of my finger. So that's really good. Feels really balanced in hand. The blade, like I said, is fairly large. I think it's around 4 inches, but I could be wrong. I really don't feel like looking up the specs, so you'll have to deal with it. It uses Elmax, which is a very tough steel. I think it holds an edge fairly well. I don't beat the crap out of my knives, so I don't really have a whole lot of data for that. But Elmax, by all indications, is a great steel, so no complaints. I have a fairly early serial number, serial number 89. I bought this off the exchange. This is one of the ones that was actually released in another country, and I managed to pick it up because I really wanted one. So the frenzy for these guys is really hot right now. You might be able to get lucky and find one in a dealer somewhere, online or otherwise, for either retail or minimum advertised pricing. Minimum advertised pricing for this is $260, so that's the minimum you'll be able to buy this for. And I think if you find one at $260, then you need to jump on it, because this is this thing is awesome. I mean, for just $60 more, I think it's way worth it over the 0551. Now, don't get me wrong. The 551 is a different animal than the 560. These are two very different knives. If you want, built like a tank, heavy in your hand, stocky feel, don't get this. If you want thin, elegant, light, but still strong and capable, and a really good carry knife, then this is what you need to get. I think this is a home run. There's very, very little I don't like about it. It takes some getting used to. Like I said, difference with the KVT and the detent, and your weak thumb, not being able to push the thumb stud open. But once you get used to all that, it's awesome. So look for my comparison between this and the 0551 in the future. But for now, enjoy. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment. And I appreciate you guys sitting down and watching. All right, y'all have a good one.